change field position.
They'll try and do. Beautiful spiraling deep kick. Smith who bobbled. Oh, he lost it. Seattle recovers.
Now back to You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos on Westwood One Sports.
Oh boy. Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady with the call on Fox. I mentioned earlier in the show, I was texting with a friend of the program, Femi Abebefe, last night about the opening line of Super Bowl 60. Was texting with another of our friends on You Better You Bet after that play, the great Ken Barkley. Colorful language from yours truly to Ken in our conversation about the game following that play from Xavier Smith. And just, I don't want to pile on the young man. It's not great that happens. Probably will be someone, he's going to be like Kyle Williams probably, who fumbled the punt in the 11 NFC Championship game for the Niners against my Giants. Here's Xavier Smith. I don't know if he's the reason why the Rams lost, but didn't help. He looked like, I don't think this is mean. I mean that. Like, my daughter who's 20 months old, like she have like these like little basketballs or whatever, and like so we throw the ball to her sometimes. She doesn't know how to catch, right? She's just like, it's kind of harrowing to watch sometimes because of like something flying at a young child. Like they don't know how to get out of the way. They have no reflexes. They can't like swat the ball away. They don't know how to catch it. You'll throw the ball and she'll just like look at it and it'll like hit her. Not hard, obviously, just like toss it up. Sometimes they fall backwards. Like Xavier Smith looked like my like daughter trying to catch this ball. Like he fell and it like bounced off his head. I don't know what to say. And for the Los Angeles Rams, and I'm not a Rams fan, far from it, New Yorker, lifelong fan of the New York Football Giants, but, had those Rams-Patriots exactas, another future that dies at the very end. We will call that the Duke Memorial, I think, moving forward. I think if you're a Rams fan, or a Rams bettor, you're wondering today, like, what might have been? What might have been? The Rams lost 2 games to Seattle in the span of 6 weeks, where Matthew Stafford was unbelievable in both games. Thursday, December 18th, losing 38-37 on like a fluky-ish game to Seattle, but like the Seahawks won. I don't think this was a fluky win for Seattle yesterday. That win may have been a little fluky. I don't think yesterday was the NFC Championship game. And I think you really just wonder what might have been. And for the Los Angeles Rams, and I think this is the thing that really sticks in your craw, if you're a Rams fan or a Rams bettor, is it's the same 2 things that have plagued them all season. The 2 bugaboos all season for the 2025 Los Angeles Rams. Special teams and in-game coaching. And yeah, you can point to Chris Shula's defense, and the secondary's been bad at points this season. There's no question about it. But over the course of the season, those have really been the 2 glaring places where you can look at the Rams and poke some holes in what otherwise is a Super Bowl caliber roster and coaching staff. In-game coaching and special teams. It's incredible that the Rams, I think, lost this game yesterday. Unbelievable that the Rams lost this game. The Xavier Smith play absolutely swings the game, right? And we'll get to Sean McVay in a second. But the Rams, after the brutal end of the first half, which falls on McVay, right? They actually hold Seattle to start the second half. They force a punt at 24-20, and Xavier Smith can't hold on to the ball, and literally the first play for Seattle, and it is a great play call by Clint Kubiak, who goes foot to throat, and you love that in that situation from an offensive play call. You know who else loved it? Tom Brady. Tom Brady loved it. Tom Brady absolutely loved it. Tom Brady, like some of you men out there, when like your favorite Instagram model posts a thirst trap, you're loving it in the that's Tom Brady. That's a football thirst trap from Clint Kubiak, and Tom Brady's in the comments, and he's eating it up, and he's sliding in them DMs. Oh, yeah. 31-20, Seattle. And the Seahawks, like, tried to give it back to the Rams a little bit and I criticized it at the time, the taunting call on Reek Wallen, right? That on a 3rd and 12 for the Rams. That taunting call, I thought in the moment, was the worst call I've ever seen. Like, I almost, like, don't, he could be doing, like, the DX, like, suck it sign, like the crotch chop to the and I still don't think you can call that. Like, in the NFC Championship game taunting, like, come on. Ridiculous. But our friend Ross Tucker, Westwood One NFL analyst, was on the show yesterday, Countdown to Kickoff. He was doing the sideline with Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner yesterday on Westwood One of the NFC Championship game. He's there on the sideline, and he tweeted, like, the referees told him multiple times to stop, and he wouldn't stop. So, like, what do you, like, F-A-F-O, man. Sometimes in life, if you F-A, you F-O. Enrique Woolen F-O'd. And then he F-O'd again on the next play when Puka Nacua beat him for a touchdown. So, like, the Seahawks tried to kind of give that back to the Rams, the Xavier Smith muffed punt. They tried to. But special teams was an issue for this team all year. And the Rams have got to get this fixed moving forward. The first ever in-season coach firing by Sean McVay was to Chase Blackburn, Giants Super Bowl hero from Super Bowl 46. Because the special teams weren't good enough all season long for the Rams. And then, in the biggest moments, in the biggest game, they let them down in the worst possible way. And it has to make you sick. If you're McVay, if you're a Ram player, if you're a Ram fan, and you're a Rams, future is better. You bet on this magnificent Football Monday following Championship Sunday. Westwood One Sports, Nick Kostos with you on all socials at The Kostos. And then there's Sean McVay. And someone wrote, like, I did an Instagram video last night at The Kostos, TheKostos. I put it on Twitter. And I got a message from someone. And it, like, resonated with me a little bit. And what the person said was, kind of like, make up to me. This person said it to me. Make up your, meaning my. Kind of like make up your mind on Sean McVay. Because you always, meaning me, talk about how great he is, and then you criticize him for his in-game management. And I think that's fair to say that I do that. I do that. There's no question about it. But I also think I'm right to do it. If you're going to be objective and tell the truth, Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the history of the NFL. Like, he just is. He is one of the great offensive innovators in the history of the National Football League. If the Rams, and they wouldn't, but if they ever fired him, you would have teams falling all over themselves to fire their entire building to bring him in, and they would be right to do so. That is true. It's also true that he can be brutal with in-game management. Like, I'm sorry, like, both things can be true. And it's kind of like a thing with the members of his coaching tree, right? And whether or not, like, he is like the base of the tree, or like Shanahan is, Kyle Shanahan, and it obviously all stems from Mike, and it stems from Bill Walsh before him. But I mean, let's just look at Kyle Shanahan, who's like one of the best coaches in the history of the league. I hope he wins a Super Bowl at some point. He deserves it. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, even if you want to throw Matt LaFleur into the mix, right? All stellar head coaches that win 1 million games, and when it comes down to it at the ends of these games, make like insane decisions and they go on tilt. Like, I don't know how else to put it. And I don't think it's unfair to put it like that. Where you have Tom Brady's so good on Fox, right? Brady is calling out how terribly the Rams managed the end of the first half, where not only do the Rams not score, not only do they not run the clock out, but Seattle scores at the end of the half. You can't have that happen. Then the Rams score to make it 31-20. I don't care that there's still a lot of time left in the game. It's the NFC Championship game. This is not October against the Arizona Cardinals. You go for 2 to make it a 3-point game. Period. You think McVay wishes he went for 2 in the aftermath? I bet you he does. Now, I didn't have an issue with him going for it on the fourth and goal at the end of the game. Down 31-20. People are like, oh, he should kick the field goal, make it 31-30, get a stop and win with the field goal. Why would you think you'd get a stop? They were allowing 7 yards per play to the Seattle offense. That was the right move. That I agree with from McVay. But then you had the whole timeout fiasco with the Cooper Kupp. Did he catch it or did he not catch it? Just like, what's happening here? And the other thing with McVay, And I think I'm trying to thread this needle of saying I think he's one of the best coaches in the history of the league, and also that he screws this stuff up. How is it possible that Sean McVay never has any timeouts? It's like NFL games start, and the ball is kicked off, and both teams have 3 timeouts, except for the Rams, who have 1. The second half of games kicks off, and every team has 3 timeouts, except for the Rams, who have none. He never has any timeouts. How is it possible that he never has any timeouts? He mismanages the clock. He mismanages his timeouts. He goes on tilt. Now, with all of this being said, I'm a Giants fan. Am I happy my team hired John Harbaugh? Yes. Would I rather my team have Sean McVay? Hell yeah. Like, you sign up for all of that with all the good that you get with him. And he's won a Super Bowl already. And maybe if not for the Jaquiski Tartt dropped interception in the 2021 NFC title game, maybe Kyle Shanahan's got one too. Or the Falcons against the Patriots in Super Bowl 51, maybe Shanny's got one. Or overtime against the Chiefs. Or blowing the lead in 2019. Like Shanahan, I hope he gets one. McVay's got one already. He's great. He's unbelievable. But at what point do we say he's got to get this right? And this is holding them back from winning another championship. Is that unfair? 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. YouTube.com/@thekostos. We will read your YouTube comments later in the show. It's not unfair to say. And Sean McVay gets up there to the podium after the game. And this went noted to me. And I'm going to say something here, and I'm not reporting anything. I have no idea what's going to happen. No idea. And McVay says something similar after the game to what he said last year when the Rams lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. So when the Rams lost to the Eagles last year, remember the great play by Jalen Carter on that 4th down to force the Matthew Stafford incompletion. And McVay basically says, like, I never thought we were going to lose. I thought we had it. I thought we were going to win. And he said after yesterday's game, I thought for sure it was going to be us up on that podium. Now, just to say this, right? My guess is he's coming back. He's flirted with retirement in the past. This is back-to-back, soul-crushing playoff defeats on the road in the waning moments for McVay and the Rams. McVay just turned 40 on Saturday. He's been coaching the Rams for 9 years. People have talked about the John Madden arc for McVay. And maybe he goes into TV and he's burnt out by coaching. His wife just had another kid. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I think it's worth talking about. John Madden stepped away from coaching at 42 after 10 years coaching the Oakland Raiders, 1 Super Bowl championship. I don't think McVay is going to walk away. I don't think so. I think he's going to come back. I think he should come back. I hope he comes back. I love watching him coach. I don't think it's impossible that he walks away. And I'm not reporting that. I'm just saying, is that a fair thing for me to bring up to you, our listeners and viewers? I think it is. Last note on the Rams for now. If this is it, and I can't imagine it is, but if this is it for Matthew Stafford, who turns 38 the Saturday before the Super Bowl on February 7th, Hall of Famer. No question. And I can't even believe this has been something that's been talked about on social media. Like, is Matthew Stafford a Hall? Yeah, obviously. There's no question. I thought winning the Super Bowl 56 against the Bengals, got him on the right side of it, maybe not 100% in. Everything he's done since then, and he's the MVP of the league. Like, I mean, he going to the Hall of Fame. Remember, by the way, do you remember Matthew Stafford's back in August? It's like the biggest scam since like Y2K. Like, Matthew Stafford can't walk. Also, he's the best player in football this year. What a joke. I don't think Stafford will walk away. Hard to imagine someone walking away after a loss like that in an MVP season. But if it's it for Stafford, and my guess is McVay and Stafford are both back another year. But if this is it for Matthew Stafford, Hall of Fame. First ballot. From the first overall pick in 2009 to Canton. And I hope he comes back. I think he will. I'm almost certain McVay comes back. And the Rams will get another crack at it. And if they're going to break through next year and win a second Super Bowl in the McVay-Stafford era, McVay's got to shore up the in-game decision-making, and the special teams can't be curtain-jerking jabronis like they were this entire season. On the other side, we'll talk about the AFC Championship game. Yes, it was not a good game, but we will credit the team that won it, the New England Patriots. Back in the Super Bowl, AFC Championship breakdown. Next, You Better You Bet with Nick Kostos, Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM.